time is now. Where's back to the rhymes? It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the Booth Street dropping dimes. Clark Kent Daily Plant the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Raw, uncut, rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to wine because back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to wine because back to the rhymes. What the heck? It restarted over. It was at 28 seconds. Now it's back to 7. I don't know what happened. Playing injured in my mouth. These sores. They last 3 weeks. I don't know if you get them. Get them sometimes. The last 3 weeks, I swear. It's no good. All right. There it is. Number 1. School Us album sales. The album is here. No sales this week. Number 2. I Don't Like Sunsets Much, a country song. Nothing to report on that. Number 3, the YouTube channel with Will and made. He wanted to change the title to Finding Rabbi Yeshua for the first segment. We did a second segment. That would be part 2, right? And it's doing excellent. I mean, it's the best of any as far as views. Not like tons of time watched, but for views right out the gate with no promotion or anything, it had 21 views. I'm just very excited about this because I thought you wanted to do something about the conflict in the Middle East side stuff, but he wanted to switch gears because he had been doing some thinking on what he talked about and the importance of this. So we did that, and so now it's all of a sudden it's 3 parts, and I can't really say anything about that because if it needs to be 3 parts, it needs to be 3 parts. But as far as my systems for sharing and stuff, it kind of throws me for a loop because I'm like, how do I don't want to. I try to mix it up a little bit. Now I'm all of a sudden, I don't want. So choices are to just, with all these, it's going to be 3 videos. I can make 1 playlist, but I've already shared it about 66 times. The first one's up to 69 views or so, which is really great. It's excellent. It's the best we've ever done with a video together. So I'm in too deep to really change that. I don't want to come back around with another one to people because, like I said, I want to mix it up. And the other video we talked about was a different topic. So that was part 2. So I'm like, what should I do? So I was thinking, well, maybe if the video just somehow gets to 100 views, then I'll cut it, or there's 21 views now. Just deduct that off the amount of times I share it. So I might do that with this at least. I got my man out there, Jack. I want to do a video with him. He'd be the next person if we can make that work. And I have others in mind, but like I said, I'm trying to mix it up. I think this is critical what we're talking about. It's a blessing to see that kind of response. It makes you really want to do more because it's the big picture for sure. It's what we really need to be mindful of. I just really enjoy talking to Will, and I was just thinking about I should have brought the Bible, but just where Jesus talks about my sheep know my voice, that kind of stuff, and I want to ask him about that because it's like, all right, maybe not just his voice, but his words, and since his words are Torah, and people are sleeping on that, can someone really call themselves his sheep if they don't know that, or not studying that, or trying to learn that and get under the? And he mentioned the term, and I will use it probably for a song. The irrevocable role of the Jewish people to spread to the nation. So that's putting the pieces together, right? So that's what's going on. A lot of the back and forth makes so much sense to me. I guess my problem is I don't overthink it. My problem is I think a lot of people maybe studied the Bible too much the wrong way. They're having a hard time flipping it around so they could study it the right way, whereas maybe I haven't studied it enough, so it's easy for me to say, well, I haven't studied it the wrong way too much, so it's easy for me to come around here and study. And he really keeps saying that we need Jewish commentaries because they're the ones who understand it from the beginning of time, as far as God sharing this, not Johnny come lately. Someone's just reading it. Hey, what are your thoughts? And I said, it's like people look at it like a literary work. This is God communicating to us. This is not Shakespeare or what's his name? The day. I can't think of these authors. Mark Twain. How about Mark Twain or whatever? I don't think people look at it. I don't know. I just, what was Twain trying to say here? No, this is different. So, but that's how it's looked at. So anyway, there's a lot there. It's totally exciting. I'm very excited. We're going to do the ministry at the Nikkei Manor. And I think that'll be a good opportunity to kind of work on messaging and connect. They're looking for a simple message, a message of hope, and that's what we bring, right? Because as you've heard them say before Messiah, we were without hope. We got hope, and we got to be sharing that hope. And what is that hope? What is the reason for our hope, right? Okay. So anyway, that's what's going on with the YouTube channel. The TikTok did pretty good. The YouTube Shorts did really good, relatively speaking, at like 400 something. Did really well. And I think I got a subscriber out of it, which I'm very, very thankful for. And then Instagram's kind of flat. I don't know why. That's okay. So rules of engagement. I thought I was going to say something. I'll come back to some of this stuff. I got some ideas of what I could say more to do with current events, activism, I think. And I'll bring that out in a bit. Well, I could talk about it one now. So Belarus, we were at Tacoma Dome this weekend. Oh, man. We have a church service on Sunday. And Tacoma Dome, I didn't know this. Apparently, they even had it last year. They have the flag. I think they would probably consider a unifying symbol. When I say they, it's like us and them. This is not kosher, right? This is not that, but that's the public space and renting. I don't know. It's a situation where I don't know what's available in terms of convention centers. I mean, we're sure glad for me to just drive down to Tacoma instead of going to Boise or Spokane. Absolutely. We're going to go to Everett in the fall. I really hope and pray that they don't have that flag too. I hope they never put it on top of the Space Needle. If they did, I missed it, thankfully. They might. I don't know. It's not a unifying. If people are not on the same page, it's not like this flag. That's a unifying symbol. If you don't like that, well, what do you like, right? But this is not the American flag we're talking about. So it's a challenge. It sucks to me, because it's like, man. Anyway, you're there, and so I kind of want to ask some questions, like for instance, hey, can we just take it down for when we're there? You guys can put it back up later. What the labor cost is, right? Who's going to go up and take it down, put it up? It's terrible. It's terrible. It really does cause you to pick sides, which is a good thing. It's like hastening the end times or something. All right, which side are we going to pick, So anyhow, but it was a good weekend all in all. But it's just a bummer to me. That's a bummer. Insidious, it's pervasive, and they try to make that. They're trying to like create a stir, with this stuff. All right. Music for Back to the Rhymes. I don't have any new music for that. Merch. I'm not wearing it this time. It's cooled down a little, so I can handle wearing this sweatshirt today. It's been so hot I couldn't do it, but there's the merch. Nothing new to add there. So now we have the news came out today that Biden's up for re-election. Harris, I guess they're going to maybe have a nominating process, abbreviated one. So we'll see. Sounds like their establishment might be lining up behind Harris. So we'll see. We'll see what that means. But I remain believing that. I mean, it's kind of like, how many people could she ever draw? I mean, who would go to a rally that she was, if she had a rally, who would go to that? They keep saying why she is or isn't. I mean, I could kind of see why Joe Biden's kind of likable, I suppose, when he was a little more coherent. Old Joe, kind of, rap along and have conversations. Seems kind of like a guy to hang out with a little bit. People would say that about Obama, I guess. Maybe not. You hear different opinions about that, but I think that's part of it. I don't know what her deal is. I know. Seems okay for what they do. I'm just talking about personality, I guess, because a lot of people seem to get into that so much. But I don't know. What I do know is she did very poorly in the Democrat primaries way back when in 2020. I think she was one of the first to drop out of the race, if I recall correctly. Therefore, based on that, and it's funny that they picked her as the VP when you got the first person to drop out, just about. Why did you make that pick? That's how it works, too. VP gets and you're like the next in line oftentimes. So you went from being last, the people running, to they moved you up to number 2 almost. Amazing. So, yeah, I'm not sure, but she did not do well. Wasn't well received. So anyhow, I don't know why that would change now, but put it like this. If you come in, let's say 5th or 10th in the Democratic primary, how are you supposed to beat Trump? That they, finagle a few things. So let's just see. And there's going to be a debate and all that stuff. I've been reading where they say, well, she's a prosecutor. And yeah, well, okay. If it's, you're what do they call them, an activist prosecutor, so congratulations. Anyway, that's the latest, and you probably have heard. And I have a song that he's going to thump. So there you go. You will be glorified. No new news on that. So just locally shared about the Tacoma Dome thing, but the 100th in Aurora or so, it's another thing it's on my mind, and I hate to see it. And you got fools running around, running the block, shooting up the block, and it's as if it's a city council person more, or whatever it's calling it, it's their turf. That's a turf war, Well, I talked about this last. Whose turf is it? It's their turf. They own it. I mean, it's a little few blocks. Who are these people? And I've seen a video. Look like kids. The guy's got one of those. I can make a pretty negative comment, but the bag that goes across here like a purse, that's a gangster? Heck no. So yeah, they got all the guns. That's a little scary, but come on. These guys are a bunch of amateurs, right? And I'm saying I'm anything more. I would be an amateur myself, but I'm talking about, some police people to come in there and just take care of it. That'd be good. And I thought, you know what? here's how I would run. If I were to run for city council, and my dad did that numerous times, I would not doorbell. I would stand amongst the women of the street, the women of the night with my Jeffrey, I'm going to say Jeffrey Yeager, I think I would go with that. For city council, the position and number that is up here, and that's it. And I'd stand on Aurora every single day, right in the middle of them. I probably think I might stand outside Chick-fil-A, just go be getting to know them some. But that would be my campaigning. That would be all my effort. And win, lose, or draw, I'd just stand there every day, doing that. So hopefully because goodness gracious, that's your number one priority if you are the rep for this area. You can come up with all your other stupid ideas, recycling or whatever. We got to fix this, come on. And okay, so here's what I wanted to say. You had the head of the secrets, and you have this Moore, the city council person. They're literally the same. I almost feel like I'm listening to the same person. Dissociated, dispassionate. President Trump, we almost lost him, and this person can literally care less. She just talked about our budget and the resources and this and that. Doesn't even care, And you better be thankful yourself, because the people be going looking for you times 1,000 if you would have been killed. But it's not going well for that woman. And now here you have this city council person. She said, well, we want to put back in place the no loitering, prostitution loitering law that was removed back in 2020. Anyone want to say why that was? Why? Why would you remove that? What was your plan? What did you accomplish in the last 4 years by doing that? Okay, but anyway, you put it back in. What we're working on, we hope to get it done by the end of summer. You hope to get it done. Well, that's about the end of the season, probably for a lot of this stuff, but that sounds very weak. Meanwhile, the people who live over there's a lot of family people, and they didn't pay if they moved in there anytime recently, they paid a lot of money to live around a freaking war zone. And if they're not from this area, maybe they didn't know it was going to be like that. But you got to give them their money back or help them relocate. That's crazy, though. Just so apathetic is the word I'd say. Apathy, total apathy. Sad. How do these people that are so apathetic get in these positions? I'm blown away by that. Well, maybe they have all the credentials and they're very educated. Yeah, that sounds like an apathetic person right there. I'm gonna get back to the runs. I'm gonna see. I might have spent a little of this, but I want to see if I get this song done. And I was trying to look at it and say, what was I doing last time? Like I said, I didn't review the game film. That's not how I usually do this, but I'm trying to put myself back in the mindset. What was I doing when I got to this hook? So anyway, the intellect. Inspect what you expect when trying to test the intellect. Because you ready? Are you prepared to get checked? Subscription to Sound Thinking prescription. Get an inkling, and we'll work to bring you along. Just study what I'm saying in song. Is your conduct conducive to clarity? If so, my friend, that's a rarity. Because you don't want to wind up 10 cuffs in a cloud of dust, I trust. Seems you got a clue, won't be none of that. Phew. The intellect will see you now. Come on in. All right. What in the world was I doing when I said that? And that's only like 40 seconds. Oh. I think I was just going to do a kind of like a role play, right? Come on in. What can I do for you? I will speak. You will guess what maybe the person's saying based on what I'm saying next, right? So come on in. What can I do for you? I see. very good. So maybe I'll kind of break out a recipe for intellectualism, and really it's just common sense, which if you've heard that, just have common sense. This doesn't take high degrees, it takes low degrees. You overthink this stuff. Okay, I see. Very good. Okay, well, come on in. Intellectual, see, yeah. Come on in. What can I do for you? I see. Very good. So maybe I'll kind of just flow into the next verse from here. I'll kind of go from talking into rapping, maybe rhyming. All right, so the intellect will see you now. Come on in. What can I do for you? I see you. Yes, very good. Maybe I'll say yes, very good. And then well, what would I suggest? Okay, so here we go. Ready, verse 2. So it might sound scary. No, that's not going to rhyme. Clarity. What did I say? Clarity already? Yeah. Though it might sound, I'll just go with it. Though it might sound scary. What's the word nary mean? Not very, very little. Nary. Yeah, I don't think I can get through this. That'd be quite an accomplishment. It's really too bad I have this week off. Yeah, I would like to, but I just don't think so. So I'm grinding a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I know. Just grind through it. All right. Nary, not one. Ooh. Alteration to near, which is never? It's a regional. Not one, no. Well, it might sound scary. Mary. Nary wants to be the Nary. God, Nary, a soul wants to be the canary. Wants to be the canary in the coal. Mine is the mission. Since I'm talking truth. Looked at with suspicion. Suspicion. Because that ain't what they've been taught. Yeah, I gotta start saying CUZ for cuz. What have I been not doing? That ain't what they've been taught. Because that ain't what they've been taught. What's the phrase? Something about I know it would be rot, but I thought it was anyhow, because that ain't what they've been taught. Because that ain't what they've been taught. Certainly not. I don't know if I can fit this in. No, not sound thinking perish the thought. Okay. Now, I do want to talk about there's that concept of sound doctrine. That's for another time, but we can even just stay on the kind of worldly, secular level. No, not sound thinking perish the thought. I have kind of used this before. Caught between, and I'll mess around. Might have to analogize. Caught between we know the saying, a rock and a hard place, right? But I don't want to say that. Caught between thought and a hard place. Which that place being the real world. Right? I mean, come on. And all that comes with it. So come on the journey. Journey. That you getting with it. Till next time, back to the rhymes.